So hopefully you found parallel and perpendicular lines day 1 to be pretty easy. We're currently on day 2, and let's start reviewing with characteristics of parallel lines and characteristics of perpendicular lines. So I want to list 3 things specifically about parallel lines and then 3 things specifically about perpendicular lines. So I think one of the easiest ones is to talk about the slope of parallel lines. They have the same slope. So same sign, same number. They are also equal distance apart. And since they're equal distance apart, they will never touch or intersect each other. Then for characteristics of a perpendicular line, they intersect once, two lines that intersect once, specifically crossing at a 90-degree angle. If it's perpendicular, it has to be a 90-degree angle. They just go hand in hand with each other. And then their slopes are opposite reciprocals. So different signs, and the fraction for the slope is flipped. Okay. We have picture drawn, parallel lines, perpendicular lines. Just like a funny little video if you want to watch something funny today. Slopes of parallel lines, again, always the same. They are increasing or decreasing at the same rate forever and ever and ever. The y-intercept of parallel lines are always different. So notice slope is 2 for both equations. The y-intercept is different. And then the slope of perpendicular lines are opposite reciprocals. So different signs, flip the fraction. So negative 3 halves, different sign. So the next one's going to be positive, flip the fraction. 2/3, and then the y-intercept is going to be different as well. So we are going to write the equation. We're going to be given the equation of one line, and we need to determine a line that's either perpendicular or parallel to that given equation if it passes through a specific point. So I have for you 2 pictures. They showed all of their work. If you want to, you can read through that at your own pace. I'm going to do 2 of the examples with you, and then you can do the other 4 examples on your own. So for the first one, the equation of a line that is perpendicular, so that 90-degree angle, they intersect, to f of x equaling 6x plus 2, and it's going to go through the point 12, -4. Okay, so I'm given my slope, perpendicular, meaning opposite reciprocal slopes. So it was positive 6, so my opposite reciprocal slope is going to be negative, and I'm going to flip the fraction to be 1/6 because it was 6/1, so I can flip it to 1/6, -1/6. Now I don't know the y-intercept. I know the y-intercept for the original line, but not through my new line, my second line. I don't know the y-intercept. So I need to figure out what the y-intercept will be for my second line. Well, I had given these 2 points. That's an x value and a y value. So I can plug it into y equals mx plus b because I'm given my y, I'm given my m, I'm given my x, and I need to find b. So we plugged in -4 for y, -1/6 for m, 12 for x, to find b. So I'll just first start out by multiplying. -1/6 times 12 is -2. And then add 2 to both sides. B equals -2. So that's my y-intercept. Now that I have my slope and my y-intercept, I'm going to plug just those two values into y equals mx plus b, and I get y equals negative 1/6 x minus 2. And if I wanted to look at that on Desmos, just to make sure that I'm correct, I can quickly just graph both of those. I actually don't even need y equals. I can just go 6x plus 2, and then negative 1/6 x minus 2. Okay, and then I can see if I zoom in a little bit that yes, those do intersect. It seems to be a 90-degree angle. I'm just gonna go with it that it's 90 degrees because it looks like it. You're not really allowed to assume, but just for now, we can assume that it's 90 degrees. So yes, they're perpendicular. I think I did all of my work correct. So I'm gonna move on. I'm actually gonna move on to the fourth one right here. Determine the equation of the line that is parallel to f of x equals 4x plus 1 and goes to the point 2, 5. So again, I know my slope. Parallel means same slope. So if it's the same slope, my slope is going to be 4. And I don't know my y-intercept for this one, so I'll need to find it. I'm given my x and my y variable, so I'm going to plug x, y, and m into y equals mx plus b to find b. So we'll plug in 5 for y, 4 for m, and 2 for x, just like I did in the last one, and solve for b. So 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract 8 to both sides, and b will equal negative 3. I can take my m, I can take my b, plug it into y equals mx plus b, and y equals 4x minus 3. So these problems are pretty tedious, but the process is pretty much the same. The only thing that's really different is finding your slope. If it's parallel, so easy, it's the same slope as the equation given to you. If it's perpendicular, you take the slope that's given and take the opposite reciprocal of it. So different sign, flip the fraction. Okay, and then plug x in, plug y in, plug x in, y in, and your slope to solve for b. Take m and b, plug it back into the equation so that you have your equation that's either parallel to the line or perpendicular to the line. So go ahead and do the last 4 problems.